Alright, about ready to get started here. And I think we're going to do this again with Ennui, but I wanted to test this out myself and see how well this goes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is bring up some of these little boxes. Okay. So we have a little reference. Alright, I'm going to go into casual match. So I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about losing rank points or anything. I just want to explain everything about the game from start to finish. We have a nice reference. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so the very first thing we want to talk about is the different suits. There's 3 different suits. There's Mon, and there's Peen, and there's So. And Mon are also called cracks or symbols. Peen are also called dots. And the So are also called bamboo, but we try and use the Japanese names because those are the most widely used, most widely agreed on, and there's consistency. Everyone says Mon, Peen, and So. There's no other names that are used in Japanese. The next thing we want to talk about are the different kinds of tiles. Let me show this here. So we have number tiles, terminal tiles, and we have tiles which are tiles 1 and 9. I have to discard here. Alright, let me start over here. So we have number tiles, which are the tiles numbered 1 through 9, terminal tiles 1 and 9, and then the simple tiles, which are those labeled 2 through 8. Let's get rid of this. Alright, it's pretty simple. So that's where this Yaku all symbols comes from. If you've heard of this Yaku. If you only have tiles 2 through 8, those are the simple tiles, so all symbols means you only have simple tiles. It's pretty straightforward. But I feel like when you first hear what all symbols is, it seems kind of random. Like, why is it just tiles 2 through 8? Well, it's because those are the simple tiles. So we have a Yaku for it that can win. Alright, so we've gone over the suits, gone over the different tiles. Let me hide these. I wish I had someone to do this for me. Oh, the Dora? That's fine, I'll discard the Dora. I'm not really worried about it right now. Right. Next thing we have is the honors. So we have 7 different honors. We have the dragons and we have the winds. The red dragon, the white dragon, and the green dragon. The only thing I have here are the west wind, which are also called Sha. And then there's the south over here, the Non. The north, which is the Pei. And what's the last one that I didn't say? South, east, west, north. Did I say all of them? Over here we have the white dragon. White dragon also called Haku. And, right, so just going over the basic terminology, what kind of tiles there are, what kind of suits there are. That's basic. So how do you actually win the game? Well, what we need to do is have 4 triples, or four blocks of 3 and a pair. So I have a pair here. I also need to have 4 blocks which are either triples or a sequence, like 2, 3, 4 is a sequence. If I Whoops. Okay. I almost wish I could have set the timer higher or something. Yeah, let me skip there. So yeah, we have here 2, 3, 4. That's a sequence. I need 4 things like that. Either that or a triple, like if I had 3, 3, 3, that would also count. Okay. So that's how we win. And we'll often get these pop-ups asking if we want to chi or if we want to pwn. And I think at the start, you can just ignore those, like that person just pwned. To start with, you can just ignore the chi and you can just ignore the pwn. And just try and do your best. Just try and do your best to build a pair and then 4 triples. Oh, and I just dealt in. That's fine. So this person did have a pair and 4 triples. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The 7, 8, 9 is what they won on. So your last triple is going to need to be completed either by someone else's discard or by drawing it yourself. And just to start with, I don't think you need to know anything more complicated than what I've gone over so far. Just try and build 4 triples or sequences in a pair. Get to the point where you're 1 away from winning. You just need 1 more tile to win. And then a button that says Richi will pop up. You hit Richi, and then you will put down a Richi stick in front of you. And at that point, you're just waiting until either someone else puts down your tile or you draw it yourself, and then you'll win. And just to start with, you could just do that. And of course, there's a lot more to the game than that, but that'll get you quite a ways. So I think I'm gonna try doing that for a little bit. Just chill out and try and win a couple hands. Just from doing Richi, and that's it. Not worry about anything more complicated. Yeah, I could make these better, for sure. I could make little pictures. I want to kind of test out how this works in general. Okay. So let me also show, let me also show, let's see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do this all at once. I just wanted to have for reference on the screen what I talked about so far, which was the different tile types and the different suits. And I'm not going to do chi or pwn. I'm going to ignore those. I'm just going to try and do Richi here. Just try and build four blocks of 3, 4 blocks that are either sequences or triples, and a pair, and hit Richi. Well, really, it would be three completed blocks and then 1 that's incomplete. Because I need to be in this state where I just need 1 more tile to win. And then I can hit Richi. So far, I've been kind of... I haven't been focusing too much on actually trying to win, but I'll do that now. I'll see if I can hit Richi here, and I can. If I draw another 4-pin or 6-pin, I could drop this 9-pin and Richi and be waiting on the 2 here. Or conversely, if I draw the 2 so, I could drop the 9 and be waiting on the 4-pin or the 6-pin. For someone else to drop or for me to draw myself. Alright. It would be nice... Okay, now I have another possibility. If I draw a 5 pin here, I'd have 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. I could say drop this 3 and just be waiting on the pair. Because I would only be missing a pair at that point. I'd have... at that point, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 completed blocks, right? Just emote for no reason. Okay, that's not helpful. And once I am able to hit Richi, I can stop playing, and it'll be nice when I can mess around with the text boxes when I do that. Okay, I really wish I'd do that tile myself, but oh well. What can you do? Oh, yeah, the casual games go a little bit slow. Alright. I want to see if I can bring this stuff up. The tile types. Let me show those. And I'm showing... Let me show the honors. Can I move those around a little bit? Whoops, I need to make a discard here. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. Yeah, it's hard to do this. Like, I don't feel like I can do this. But that terminology can be left on screen a little bit, so it's the different types of suits. Not too difficult. Mon, Pin, and So. And the different tile types. Terminal, honors, simples. Okay. So someone else did a Ricci, so they're ready to win. This is what I want to do. I want to say Ricci to put the tile down sideways and wait to win. I made a steal in here. That's fine. Oh, someone else did. Seems like everybody is streaming right now. I feel like I picked a really bad time. Because Anui is streaming, Vanilla is streaming, I'm sure a bunch of other people are streaming. But regardless, we do have the VOD. That may be helpful for some people. Yeah, I feel like it's taking a little bit too long. I didn't think it would take this long before I would actually be able to reach Chi. I'm just having a little bit of bad luck on the draws here. So let me move on a little bit. I don't want to spend forever just trying to reach Chi here. Let me get rid of the suits. Let me go into basic Yaku. Because in order to win the hand, one way you can do it is you can reach Chi. Ricci itself counts as a Yaku. A Yaku is something you need in order to be able to win. Like someone else may put down your winning tile. If you don't have a Yaku, then you can't win. And Yaku, if you're familiar with like poker, it's basically the same as like having like a pair or three of a kind or something. It's some special combination of things that has a special name to it. And we have some examples here. One I mentioned before was all simples. If you only have simple tiles, which are tiles 2 through 8, that means you have all simples. Another one is Yakuhai, which is these white dragons here. The white dragons, red dragons, and green dragons. If you have 3 of them, that counts as a Yaku as well. And let's see, what else is there? What else do I have listed here? I can't see the box, so I need to look at it myself. I'm showing the wrong thing here, aren't I? I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay, I need to hide that. Okay, there we go. Right, so Tanya are all simples, and Toy Toy all triples. That's where you have a hand that is all triples. You don't have any sequences. So, because you can either have 4 sequences in a pair, or you could have a combination of sequences and triples. If you have only triples, that count. That's the can all triples, which is the Yaku. And then you have Pinfu, which is a hand which is basically all sequences. It's more complicated than that, but rather than... People get really confused by Pinfu, so let's just leave it at that. It's a hand with 4 sequences in a pair. It's like you have all triples and all sequences, basically, right? That makes it really easy. Okay, we're in Tenpai. I called the Haku without thinking. That's fine. I haven't talked about calls at all. I ended up... because I was busy talking, I ended up doing something I didn't want to do. I wanted to just focus on doing Ricci first, to not get confusing, and the opportunity to con. Oh well, let's just forget this ever happened. And you also have these flesh hands. Chinitsu or full flesh is a hand where you only have 1 suit. Like if I only had, I won. If I only had pin tiles, or if I only had mon tiles, or only had so tiles and no other kind of tiles, that would be a full flush. Pretty basic. That's like a concept from poker, so like most people are going to be familiar with that. And then half flush is also called honitsu. That's a Japanese name. That's if you have all of one suit, but you can also have like honor tiles. Like you could have a triple of dragons or something. That makes it surprisingly a lot easier in order to put the hand together. Oh, and hello, Azuse. All right, so let me go back to my previous plan here, and let's see if we can do our best to do a Ricci. Let me hide these. And let me bring these previous boxes up. So, for reference, because Azuse just arrived, I kind of wanted to bring these back up. So we have the three different suits, which are the Mon, the Pin, and the So tiles. Mon tiles also called symbols or cracks. Pin tiles also called dots. So tiles also called bamboo. Okay. It's fine. Just thinking for a minute here. And then we have the different kinds of tiles. We have the terminal tiles, the 1s and 9s. And we have the simple tiles, which are 2 through 8. Then the honor tiles, like the west tile here. Now, let me get rid of this now. And so we have that, for instance, the Yaku, all simples. That's where you have only simple tiles in your hand, and that's where that name comes from. All simples are Tanya. But now we're just trying to Ricci. Okay. Too many pairs here. I bet I think I should just get rid of this 3. Probably best. Because this shape is so complex, but we're not going to talk about that. Not the kind of thing to be discussing. Just going to see if we can reach here. And another thing I could talk about. Right. While we're focused on Ricci. I'm just trying to Ricci. Let me bring up basic block shapes. So we have these 3 kinds of blocks. This terminology is really important to know because people use it a lot. I just get into this. So you have the Dianmen, or the 2-sided block, which is like this 4 or 5 here. It's 2-sided because you can draw the 3 or the 6 to complete it. Get rid of this one. And then you also have just like a pair. That's another kind of block. We don't usually use a Japanese name for that, although there is one. Obviously, of course, there is. It'd be weird if there wasn't. And then you also have the kanchan and the penchan, which I don't have any examples of that here. A kanchan would be like for instance a 7-9 because there's a shape, there's a gap in the middle. It's a kanchan. Oh, 1. Dora. And a penchan is just like an 8-9 or a 1-2. Those are the only examples of penchans. And it's very important to know that terminology, just so you know what the heck people are talking about. That's really the only reason. What am I going to deal in? No? So, yeah. And speaking of those shapes, that's one thing that is good to talk about while we're going for this basic, just trying to build a hand sort of thing. Oh, there we go. Finally, I'm able to reach you, but it's Huriten, which I don't want to talk about right now what Huriten is. It's a thing. We don't need to worry about. What was I saying? Right, so when it comes to these shapes, there's an order of preference. The best of these shapes is the Dianmen, the 2-sided, like the 3-4 kind of shape. That's preferred over those 3, the Dianmen, Kanchan, and Penchan. The second best is the Kanchan. So Kanchan is worse than Dianmen, but it's better than Penchan. And then Penchan is the worst. And then worse than that would just be like an isolated tile, like a tile that's not connected to anything. And with pairs, basically, if you don't have any pairs, then getting a single pair is really good. If you have a pair, then getting a second pair is pretty good, but it's probably better to get like a, well, in that case, it's kind of hard to say what's better. It really depends. But basically, yeah, that's a bit more advanced to talk about. Oh, we're at the end of the game. Okay. But yeah, basically, you can separate it that way, that Yeonmen best, Kanshan worse than Yeonmen, better than Penchon, and Penchon is worse than all of them. And a pair, if you don't have a pair, then you really want one, especially like the later in the round it is, the more you want one. And if you already have one, you might even want a second one, just for some flexibility. But yeah, just keeping that in mind, and just trying to build the best hand you can and go for Ricci, like you can do pretty well. You don't need to know all this other stuff necessarily. I mean, of course you want to know it, but if you're intimidated by the game, then just know that you don't need to be. You can get by with just that. Okay. All right, let's try this some more. See if we can get. Hands is looking like we might complete it pretty fast. So, but let's look at what we have here. So we've got a Kanchan over here, 7-9. And we've got this 1 2 2 3. So 2 3 is a Dianmen, and 1 2 is a Penchan. What do I want to drop here? Just drop this isolated 4. It's not connected to anything, right? Just drop it. It's isolated. And even though this is a Penchan, it's also kind of like 1 2 3 is a complete shape, so we could just drop the 2. And in fact, why don't we do that? Let's just drop the 2, so we get rid of that complication that we have the Penchan and the Dianmen combined. Right. So there's a pair 1-1 next to 2-3-4, and then 5-7. So 5-7 a Kanchan, 7-9 a Kanchan, Dianmen. Over here we have a pair, and right. Why don't we drop this 2 here? That's probably not the best drop. I should have dropped the 7, because it's not really. Yeah, why don't I get rid of this 9-7 actually. Get rid of this Kanchan here. Because here we have Dianmen pair, complete sequence, another pair next to the 7. So just dropping off this Kanchan is fine. Okay, now we have many pairs. We have got 1, 2, 3 pairs. So like the more pairs you have, the less useful they are, really. Generally. Okay. Let's drop this isolated tile. Alright, so since we have so many pairs, we probably want to get rid of one. We could get rid of this 1 here. Because it's a pair of terminals. We tend to prefer middle tiles that are more towards the middle than tiles towards the end. Another isolated tile. Right. So being in these casual rooms gives me a lot of time to talk, but it also gets like so slow sometimes. I'm kind of just waiting for the Ricci to come out here, and pretty soon I think I can move on and start talking about other things. But I kind of wanted to win at least one Rishi before I moved on. We'll see. Okay. All right, and yeah, and I wanted to emphasize keeping the hand closed here. Like, we don't need to chi and pawn to win the hands. Maybe I'm doing a bad job of showing that by not winning any hands, but just the luck of the draw. Okay. So now we have 4, 5, 6, 5, 7, 7. It's getting kind of complicated over here, right? But it's fine. So now we got a triple, 5, 5, 5. I'll get rid of this 1 here, get rid of the terminal. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7. So basically, like, we've got a complete sequence here, a complete triple. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it is getting kind of complicated. Oh, well, it just ended. All right, still trying to win closed hands here. Trying to win without doing any chi or pawn. Just demonstrate that this can be done. It's hard when everybody is opening, though. But I mean, I can at least mention, because this is taking so long. Let me at least mention how these calls work, the chis and the pawns. So the chis, I think it can take a surprisingly long time for people to be aware that you can only chi on the person to your left. You can't chi from anybody. And I know when I first started playing, I was playing against AI in Yakuza, and it took me a really long time to realize that I couldn't. The reason that I couldn't chi certain tiles is because they were not to my left, because I was not reading the instructions at all. But yeah, so yeah, you can pawn anybody, you can chi the person to your left, but you can very easily put yourself in a state where you can't win the hand, or where you've like torn apart your hand, because you might chi something that actually makes your hand slower because you've made it less flexible. So a lot of the time, it's better just to leave it closed. And when in doubt, probably leave it closed. At least to start with. Right. So yeah, if you do want to open your hand, you need to make sure you have one of those yaku, like all simples, or pinfu, which is like all sequences, or all triples, toy toy, or the half flush, which is all of one suit with honors, possibly with honors. Or Chinitsu, the full flush, which is just having all of one suit. So yeah, if you're going to open, you need to make sure you've got one of those. And since I was talking about those, maybe I should bring those up. This is basic shapes. Let me bring back basic yaku up. Oops. There we go. Yeah, I'll get rid of this isolated tile. Keep it simple. Like I was saying, we need to look at our shapes, and we rank them. If we have Yanman, Kanshan, and Penshan, we're going to discard the Penshan because the Penshan is the worst of those. If we have an isolated tile, we'll discard the isolated tile. It can be a little more complicated than that, but that's certainly a reasonable way to start off playing. And if you have if you have 3 pairs, you can definitely drop one of them. If you have 2 pairs, you can usually drop one of them without worrying too much about it. In Ricci Book 1, it says that the ideal number of pairs to have is 2. It's not always true, but that's a good sort of rule of thumb. When should you open? That is a complicated question. So, yeah, like generally, you should open for one thing if you think you can get enough, because opening may mean that you lose all value from your hand. And speaking of value, let me bring up score. Simplified score. So basically, it is more complicated in this, of course, but just thinking of it in the most simple way, you could say 1 Han is 1,000 points, 2 Han 2,000, 3 Han 4,000, 4 Han 8,000, or Fomangan, and then 6 Han Hanuman, 8 Han Baiman. So if you're going to open, you probably, in most cases, you're not just going to want to open for a hand that's going to be worth 1 Han, because it's barely anything. Sometimes you would. If you're way ahead, for example, it can be a good idea to do that. But normally you'd want to get some amount of value, and opening may take away all your value. And you also want to have some chance of winning. Like now someone is Richi'd, that makes me feel like I've basically got no chance of winning because I'm way too far away. And I'm kind of not aware of what is safe and what isn't. 5 is certainly safe. The Haku are not too dangerous. But yeah, like if you think that someone is about to win, then you may, depending on the situation, you may just want to stay close because you don't really feel the need to try and race them to try and win before them. Either because it can't be done, it's not reasonable to do it, or because you don't need to. So it is kind of complicated because there's a lot of variables that come into that. There's like, does it look like someone else might beat them? Like someone else is Richi'd and they may deal into each other at some point. And you're like, okay, I can just stand back and let that happen. Like there's a lot of things, and it may be the case that you're way ahead of them, and so you don't care. Like they're not going to overtake you, or you're way ahead of somebody else, so you're not too worried about the result. So yeah, and also how late it is. Like, is it all last? Is there a lot of time left to the game? All of these things come into consideration. But I feel like I'm talking about things like I kind of wanted to start off really, really basic. We're still in Rishi. We're still trying to avoid dealing in here. And talking about basic defense. Puritan. I might deal in here because I kind of got distracted. Hintiles look cheap. Right. So Puritan. Puritan is what we can use in order to know what's safe to discard. It's a very important rule to know. It can be a little bit confusing. Basically, if someone has discarded a tile, that means that they can't win. They can't roam someone else off that tile anymore. And in general, if a person has discarded any one of the tiles that they're waiting on, even if someone discards another tile that they haven't discarded, if they're waiting on, say the 3 pin and the 6 pin, and they've discarded the 6 pin, and someone else discards the 3 pin, they still can't win because one of the tiles they're waiting on is one that they've discarded. So that's how that works. It's a little bit confusing, but if you can understand that, then that's basically all there is to it. So yeah, and say you're waiting on, you can have like big weights on say 3, 6, 9. That can actually be a bad thing. Say, what if you discarded 3? Then you can't win on 6 and 9 anymore because you've discarded one of the things you're waiting on. Yes, it is. It's a lot to keep in mind. This is why Mahjong is a difficult game. But yeah, so Another aspect of Hurry 10 is it operates differently depending on if you are recheat or not. So if you pass on a run, someone puts down a tile and you say, okay, I'm not going to win off of them because I want to win off of someone else. If you have not recheat, then you'll go into temporary Hurry 10, and once it gets to your turn again, then you'll be able to win off of whoever discards it again. If you have recheat already, then it doesn't work. Once you skip a run, you can never win. You have to sumo at that point. You have to draw it yourself. So that could be one reason not to recheat, is that you want to win off of a specific person. Which it only comes up in very specific situations, of course. So it's much more important to know the basic Hurry 10 rules than these other rules, the temporary and the permanent Hurry 10 rules. But yeah, it's good to know. At some point, it will come up. And yeah, and the reason that Hurry 10 is a necessary rule is that it allows you to defend against people, because they've discarded the 5-pin. That makes the 8-pin seem a little bit safer to me, because if they have a good weight, it'll be like a 2-sided weight often, and if they don't have a good weight, then I'm less likely to deal into it anyway. So, but I'm thinking, okay, if they have a good weight, it may be like a 2-5 or a 5-8 or a 1-4 or something. Like, there's all these different possible 2-sided weights. If they discarded the 5-pin, then they can't have the 5-8 weight. So the 8 is a little bit safer. And say, what are the possible weights they could have? They could be waiting on like say a what we call a shampon weight, which is a weight on pairs, which includes the 8-pin. Like, they're waiting on, say, a pair of 1-mon or a pair of 8-pin. If a couple of 8-pin have been dropped already, I dealt in because I was talking. If a pair of 8-pin have been dropped already, then that means that it's not going to be able to deal into that shampon weight anymore. So you can kind of eliminate one by one what kind of weight it could be, and that is the start to doing defense. Once you understand that, you can be pretty good at defending. You can't always rely on that too much. If you don't have like a 100% thing, then of course you're taking a risk. But it may come to the point where you're just trying to find the best possible discard, and none of them are safe. It's good to know what is safer than others. And there's other defensive stuff that is in like Ricci Book 1, I think. But that initial idea of just like looking at what the opponents have discarded, and if they've discarded a certain tile, then that tile has become safe against them. Just knowing that is a good start. Right. Let me get rid of this. I think I've covered what I wanted to cover in terms of the basics. So I wonder if there are Azusa, do you have any questions? I know you're very new to the game, but I've unfortunately, I feel like I've had very bad luck in terms of actually completing hands here, and I want to show off how you complete hands. If I just don't get the tiles handed to me, I can't do that, unfortunately. Okay. And these casual games are pretty slow. Okay. And something I haven't talked about is Dora, which I think that most people are familiar with. That you have this Dora indicator up here. The tile next to the right of it, the 9-mon, is the Dora. If you win with that, it's going to double your score. You also have Uradora. So, which you can only get. This is another thing that I think a lot of people take a long time to realize. You can only get Uradora if you Richi. That's precisely when you can get them, and that's one of the benefits of doing a Richi is that you might get Uradora. Okay, just get rid of this 9 at this point. Get rid of the Dora, because getting rid of the floating Dora, I think typically when you get to Ishan 10, maybe I should have gotten rid of it earlier. But when you get near to a complete hand, you can just drop that. Okay, get rid of this Kanshan here. We're 1 away now. So, how do you calculate how far away you are? This is another good question. Yeah, the score is confusing. I can talk about the score. Rid of this 9. So I'm sorry. Oh, I was saying something. Oh yeah, how do you calculate the Shanten? How far away you are from Tenpai? You can count how many blocks you have. So let's count them. We've got 1, 2, got 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. That's 2. 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. That's 2 more. So that's 2, 4, and 5. We got 5 blocks. So if you have 5 blocks, you're good. Oh, and we just got a Richi. Finally, we got to Richi. Right, so you count the number of blocks you have, and you count the number of complete sequences. So obviously here I have 3 complete sequences because I'm waiting on the 4th, so I'm 0 away. I'm in Tenpai. But if you have 0 complete sequences, that means you're 3 away. If you have 5 blocks, if you have 2 complete sequences, or if you have 1 complete sequence, that means you're 2 away. If you have 2 complete sequences, that means you're 1 away. And if you have 3, that means you're in Tenpai. If you have 5 blocks. And if you have 4 blocks, then it shifts by 1. Like if you have 4 blocks and one of them is a complete shape, then you're still 3 away because you need to get that 5th block. Oh, this person is way open. My wait here is pretty bad because I'm only waiting on 2 tiles. Would usually want more to be waiting on more tiles than that if possible. But it's fine. And yeah, talking about the score, let me bring that up again. Because the score is confusing. And that's why I try to simplify it here. So yeah, just saying if you have 1 Han, that's 1,000 points. If you have 2 Han, 2,000, 3 Han, 4,000, 4 Han, 8,000. Very, very simplified way to put it. That's basically for... I don't want to, like, if you want to get complicated, you can talk about Fu, but you could just think of it this way, and usually it'll be about that. It may be off by a couple 100 points, but it'll be about that. Right, and so if you're the dealer, it'll be up by 50%, right? So for the dealer, it'll be for 1 Han 1,500 points, for 2 Han 3,000 points, for 3 Han 6,000, and then for 4 Han 12,000, right? So, do you have any like specific questions? Like, because what specifically is like confusing? Like, what counts as a Han? There's various things that count as a Han, which I talked about. Like all simples, that'll give you 1 Han. A Dora, each Dora will give you 1 Han, double your score. Each Ura Dora will give you 1 Han. Getting Ipatsu will give you 1 Han. If you win right after you do a Richi, the first turn after you do a Richi. Getting a Tsumo will give you 1 Han. If you get Tsumo on a hand that's still closed, you'll get 1 Han. So there's a lot of ways to get a Han. Also, all triples will give you 2. Pinfu will give you 1. Pinfu, all sequences. Half flush gives you 2, or 3 if it's closed. Some Yaku are worth more closed, which you don't really need to worry about too much to begin with. Yeah, Chinitsu is worth the full flush, worth 5. It's pretty hard to get the full flesh, so it's worth more. If you get it closed, it's worth 6, so it's worth a Hanuman all by itself. Right. So, in this hand, let's look at this hand specifically. I've got the red dragon here and the green dragon. Each of these is worth 1 Han. So I have a hand that I can win with this hand because I've already got these Yaku. I've got 2 Han. Right? If I had a 6-pin in my hand, the 6-pin Dora, it would bring it up to 3. So it'd be worth about 4,000 at that point, right? So yeah, you get Han by getting Yaku, by getting Dora. Do I want to take this? I don't think so, because that's my pair. I'll take that. Waiting on the 7-pin. Okay. Yes, so this hand is worth 2 Han, so it's worth like 2,000 points. I think it may be worth a little bit more, but we don't need to worry about the complexities of a score. Just think of 2 Han, 2,000 points. 3 Han, 4,000 points. Yeah, it is 2,000 actually. I thought it might be a bit more. It's fine. Okay. Alright, what do we want to do here? So we've got a Dora here. That'll give us 1 Han, right? If we get the white dragon or the red dragon, the Haku or the Chun, that's another way to get another Han. If we do a Richi will give us 1 Han as well. So does that make sense? Yeah. I feel like I thought that casual matches would work well for this, but I'm starting to think maybe they don't, because they're just too slow. Maybe for like friendly matches, if if I could get enough people to do friendly matches like with all the tiles shown. I don't know. I think I need to think a bit more. But if people ask questions, certainly that works. Okay, here's another possible Yaku that I didn't mention, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. I got 4 pairs. I could get 7 pairs. That's another Yaku. That's kind of like a special one. Or I've got a triple. Why don't I see if I can get all triples? It's possible. So to do that, I might have to open. Maybe. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, if I make a friendly game... in fact, why don't I make a friendly match, and I'll post it, and whoever joins can join. I'll make it... why don't we make it an East game? Oh, nobody online. Okay. I'll copy this link over to my server. Okay. Okay, and let me hide this score thing. Maybe I should post this over on the Mahjong Soul server as well. I can drag people into an East game. But yeah, this depends on being able to get enough people for the friendly. And I feel like At this particular moment, like it seems like there's tons of streams going on and stuff. I feel like I chose a really bad time for this if I wanted to get a lot of people. Okay, we got a couple. Is any one of these people Nami Okinawa? Let me see. Oh, whoops! I did at streaming. Oh, okay. No wonder no one joined. Need to ping right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. One more person. Hmm. And I wonder, potato chips. Are you on the stream? Yeah, nobody online here, huh? Not a single person, except in ranked. You and EC, OEC, COC. I don't think I've ever played as a person before. Maybe I should take them off my friends list. Make room. Make room for more people who won't be online. Oh, there we go. Shaft 3D. I think these are all people from MJS. But at least this will go a bit faster than casual games. All right. So let's back up here. Let me show. All right. Showing these again, just going over these again briefly. Okay, we have the different kind of suits. So, which are bamboo, mon, which are symbols or cracks, pin, which are the dots. And then we have number tiles, which are numbered 1 through 9, terminal tiles, which are the tiles 1 and 9, and simple tiles, which are tiles 2 through 8, and then the honor tiles, which are the dragon and the wind tiles. Okay. Let me get rid of that. Then we have the different kinds of honor tiles, the dragons and the winds. As I said, we have the Chun, the red dragon, Haku, white dragon, Hatsu, green dragon, and the Pei, Ton, Nan, Sha, north, east, south, and west. And honors that give Yaku are called Yakuhai, which are just the dragons, and your seat wind, and also the round wind, which is something that I actually did not mention. Oh. Right, let me mention that. So it's east 1, so that's the round wind. So the east is a Yakuhai tile because it's east. South is also a Yakuhai tile because I'm south. So so at this particular moment, the Yakuhai tiles are the red, green, and white dragons, and the east and the south for me. Okay, get rid of these then, I guess. Okay. Oh, the Hatsu is the Dora. Okay. I guess just get rid of this isolated 4. Get rid of this isolated 2, actually. So if you have 2 isolated tiles, you probably want to get rid of the one that's closer to the end. And keep the one that's closer to the middle. Alright. Yes. Now let me see here. Let me go back here. me bring up a list of Yaku again. Okay, just keep those on screen for reference. Drop this 7 because got this 4-5 now. Don't need the 7. And yeah, Nami, do you have any specific? Let me know if you have any specific questions. I'll be happy to answer. Because I don't know what people don't know. So right, this hand here is actually close to all simples, right? If we look at our tiles, almost all of them are 2 through 8. So this is looking pretty good for all simples. So why don't I just get rid of this? Rid of this honor tile, even though it's Dora. Now how far away are we? Let's check how many blocks we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we count this as one block, we've got 5 blocks. How many do we have complete? We've got 1, 2 complete. So we're 1 away here, right? For sure. So at this point, all we have to do is, although we don't have something to keep in mind is you need to make sure that you have a pair, which I think at the time that I said that, we may not have been 1 away because we didn't have a pair. So you need to have 5 blocks, and one of them has to be a pair. Keep that in mind. Okay, we did reach it. We didn't have to open, even though we're going for all simples. Often, when you're going for all simples, you'll open. Or when you're going for any specific Yaku that doesn't require you to be closed, like Pinfu, the all sequences Yaku, you can only get that when closed, so you're not going to open for that. But most Yaku you can still get while open. Like all these I've got listed: Toy Toy simples, or Toy Toy being all triples, and the half flush and the full flush. All of those except Pinfu you can get open. And Pinfu is kind of a special hand. Oh, there was Pinfu? Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm kind of distracted. I think it would be really helpful to have Anui here. Unfortunately, Anui couldn't be present. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Oh, didn't get the 5 pin. But yeah, we're gonna get all simples here. We'll see if we get a chance to get these other Yaku, Toy Toy, Honitsu. And I think if you know just these few basic Yaku, you can get pretty far with them. And like I was saying, you can get pretty far with just Riichi too. Just keep your hand closed, do the best you can to complete it, and don't mess yourself up by opening when you don't know whether you should open or not. If you're not familiar with if you're a beginner, you can have that sort of mindset. Okay. All right. What are we going for here? So I can't. The south are not Yaku because it's not the south round, and south is not my wind. So even if I got the 3rd south, I could not use it. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could go for one of these Yaku. I could just go for Riichi here. Like I was saying, I could just keep the hand closed. Yeah. Tend to keep things if they belong to a shape. Like this 8 pin is kind of just an isolated tile. Just get rid of it. We've got this Penchan here, 8-9. And this Penchan 8 and this 1 next to the pair here are very droppable. It's like I was saying, you have these 3 blocks: the Dianmen, Kanchan, and Penchan. Dianman greater than Kanchan, Kanchan greater than Penchan. And let me bring up the definitions of those again. Basic shapes. There we go. So we tend to use these Japanese names are very widely used, so we tend to use those. because you just need to know them so that you know what the heck people are talking about. Just Dianmen, the two-sided block, like the 4-5 here, the Penchan, like the 8-9 here, the Kanchan, like the 2-4 here. So I've got Kanchan, I've got a pair along with a Penchan. I've got a Dianmen here, another Dianmen, a Penchan, and a pair here. So how many blocks do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got at least 5. So that means since I don't have any of them completed, I'm 3 away right now. And because I don't have any of them completed, I do have a pair. Need to check that I have at least one pair. And now I'm 2 away because I've got a completed block here, the 4, 5, 6. I guess if you count the pair as a completed block, then you can just up the amount of like that may be a simpler way to do it. Like, okay, if you've got a pair and the completed sequence, that means I've got 2 completed blocks, right? Maybe that's a better way to explain it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten extremely unlucky with the tile setting, so I'm having a hard time showing off these Yaku. Maybe I can look at the other. I'm kind of ignoring the hands that are being won. Even if I don't win, at least I can see someone else's beautiful hand and say what Yaku they got. Okay, that was an excellent draw. I drew into the Penchan. So Penchan is such a bad shape. When you draw into it, it's very lucky. But we're still very far away because we don't have enough shapes here, right? We got 1, 2, 3 shapes. One of them is completed, but we need 2 more shapes before we'll be 2 away. So we're 4 away, right? So it's kind of rare to be that far away. Is that right? Okay, we got 3 blocks. I think that's correct. Alright, so in this situation, you might hope that we draw another east. They're dead though. But we can hope that we draw a chun so that we could open. Okay. Well, that was a good draw, but that still leaves us at 3 away. This is an interesting situation that comes up sometimes, where you don't have enough blocks, but you have a bunch of completed shapes. You're like, okay, I've got 2 completed blocks here and a pair, but I'm still 3 away. Okay. Yeah, but this can improve very quickly because it's a lot easier to create new blocks than it is to finish bad blocks. Like if we look at just this isolated 7, or if we look at this isolated 6 to be less confusing, if we draw a 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, any one of those will turn it into a shape, right? Into a block. There's a lot of acceptance there. Okay. I've got several pairs. We could actually, if we wanted to be crazy, we could go for Toy here. Probably not the best move. Especially with that draw. So that's like that 8 is like next to. If we think of this as like we had a 7, 8, 9, so this 7 is kind of like an isolated 7. We drew the 8 next to it, so we have like 7, 8, 9, and then 7, 8. So now we're Ishanten. Oh, but we just deal in. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let me. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me put the rules of Furiten up. Talk a little bit about defense again. So yeah, I feel like it takes some people a really long time to get used to Furiten. And Furiten, you can define it pretty simply, just the basic Furiten rule, which is that if you discard a tile, then if you end up in your final weight one of your possible tiles that you can win on is a tile that you've discarded, then you cannot win by Roan, by someone else's discard. You have to Tsumo yourself. You can still win, but you have to Tsumo. So that's the basic rule of Furiten. And to simplify that, you can say, well, since I discarded the 9 pin, that means, well, I can no longer win by somebody else discarding the 9 pin. So from their perspective, they can always discard the 9 pin and I'll never win off of it. So defensively, the 9 pin looks safer to them. That is the whole point of Furiten, is that you can look at other people's discards and decide what tiles are safer and what are not based on what they've discarded and have some level of certainty. There's like they can't trick you, like they can't get around that rule. It's 100% certain that rule exists. And if Furiten didn't exist, then you might say, well, they discarded that tile, so maybe it's like a little less likely they might not win on it or something, but it would be very like ambiguous. Furiten makes it concrete. And to give the same example I did before, like suppose you have like a really a really great weight that was like a 4-sided weight or something, like 2, 3, 7, 9 or something. That can actually have a downside to it. That if your weight is 2, 3, 7, 9, and you've discarded the 2, then that weight is now Furiten. Because it's such a huge weight, you ended up in Furiten. So that is, that's what Furiten means. It's not just the one tile you discarded. It's if the weight that you end up on includes any of those tiles that you weighed on, include a tile that you discarded, includes any tile that you discarded, then you can no longer win off of a Roan. You have to Sumo yourself. You have to draw the winning tile yourself. Okay. This is getting really complicated because now my cat is harassing me. I'm having to balance a lot of things. But this is one away for cheat toy, isn't it? For all 7 pairs? 1, 2, 3. Or do we only have 4? I think we only have 4. Yeah, for some reason I thought we had 5. Oh boy. So this is probably a lot closer to a simples hand. That's probably the best thing. And we can open. There's a lot of things we can open on here to get into tempai. We could pawn the 5s. We could pawn the 4s, the 4-so. We could chi the 6 pin. Or no, we can't. We can chi the 4 pin or the 7 pin to complete this because we have the 6, 7, 8 and I just dealt it. No, someone else dealt it. Okay. Oh boy, I may need to get rid of this cat. So Nami, if you have time, me and Anui are planning to go over a strategy book called Rishi Book 1. We're kind of making that a summer project to go over the chapters of that and make streams that cover it. So if you have time, you can watch us go over that, and that covers a lot of strategy. And if you actually learn that, you'll have a huge advantage over people who are just playing casually. And you could also read it yourself. It's available for free online. But if you're feeling too lazy to read it yourself, you could watch us go over it week by week. But I need to drag Anui in here. Oh boy, this cat. Okay, so I'm 1 away. We could get a Sanshoku, maybe. It's not looking too likely. Let's see if we got 6, 7, 8 in each. If we got 6, 7, 8 in each suit, 6, 7, 8 in Mon, 6, 7, 8 in Pin, and 6, 7, 8 in So, that would be Sanshoku. And so we would need to say draw the 6 pin and then draw the 8 pin and shift over. Although doing that, we might end up losing the. Well, we could just drop the 1. What do I want to do here? As I was saying, maybe just drop the 1. No, I don't think I want to do that. Well, actually, yes. Why didn't I do that? That's fine. I think that's fine. I don't think there's a downside to that, is there? Well, that means that now, okay, there is a downside to that. Now, if I draw the 3 pin, it no longer yeah, so there was a significant downside to that. Maybe I should have thought about that more. But that's fine. Just learning some basics here. Oh, no, I can't call that. Okay. Okay, cat. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. There you go. Okay, no, I'm not going to cheat this. Oof. Okay, so they called the Haku, so now they have Yakuhai, they can win. Okay. Yes, I'm not getting what I need here. I am a Nishan 10. Dropping this one pin was pretty dumb, but yeah, I just got punished for it too. Yeah, see, if I hadn't dropped the one, I would now be in Tenpai, because I would have the 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and I would have dropped the 6, and I would have had Tenpai. And it'd be a pretty good hand, because it'd be I'd have Richi plus Pinfu plus Dora, which is 3 Han, which means I'd be getting at least like around 4,000 points. If I got a Sumo, that would bring it up to 4 Han, which would double it again, would be like 8,000. Oh, they emoted before hitting me. This is like just 1,000 points. Yeah, it's just 1 Han. It's just the red dragon. That's it, the Yakuhai. Okay. Alright, so we're in all last now. I kind of forgot this was an East game, but this is all last. Oh, and I don't need to call that because I've already got 3. This is my win. I'm West, so I can win off of this. Let's see if we can. And I can go ahead and open this hand. I can chi the 3 pin or the 3 so. It'd be nice to complete these penchants. They're kind of unlikely to come out early. Like they're dropping terminal tiles to start with. They're probably not going to drop a middle tile. They might, like they did. Shaft 3D dropped. Like I would have got cheat that if I was up here. But that's very nice. Just drop the Chun here. I've got 6 shapes. Ideally, you want to have 5, but that's fine. Oh. So yeah, I'll likely drop off this 1-2 Penshan, because Penshan is like the worst shape, right? Should I get rid of this Hurry 10 stuff? Hold on. Do I want to chi that? I will. Why not? That puts me 2 away. I don't have a pair, unfortunately. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I wanted to bring up the basic shapes. Yeonmin, Kanchan, Penshan. I don't want to repeat that because I feel like it's easy to forget. Need some repetition in here. It would be really nice if I drew another 1 so. I would get 2 Dora and a 3rd Dora here from the red 5. So that would be the Yakuhai plus the 3 Dora would be 4 Han. It should be about 8,000 points. If I was the dealer, that would be like 12,000 points. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just hoping to get the one of the draws I need. So I could draw the 3, 4, the 1, or the 2. Either one of those 4 tiles. And if I draw the 3 or the 4, I could I'll just switch weight on the Dora. If I don't wait on the Dora, the hand will decrease to 2 Han. Like it'll go from 8,000 points down to 2,000 points, decrease 4 times. So even though I'm probably less likely to win on the Dora, people are going to be hesitant to discard the Dora and they'll hold on to it for longer. But it quadruples the value of my hand to win on that, so it's probably better to wait on that. Oh, okay. Right, what do I want to... Okay, so there's 3 4-mon left, and there's 2 3-mon, so I'll wait on the 4. I've also discarded the 7-mon. If someone discards the 1-mon, the 4 will look a little safer. Although I think the 1-mon are already starting to die. Oh well. That's the end. Could have won a pretty big hand there. I ended up in 4th, didn't I? Oh well, it happens. That's not the end? Oh, we're all below 30k. We're all below 30k. That's another rule I have not mentioned. Yeah, if everyone is below 30k in 4-player, the game will not end. The game will never end. Oh boy. Yeah, so definitely let me know if there's any questions or anything I should clarify. I feel like I've barely won any hands here, unfortunately, over like an hour and a half. That's the main issue that I feel like I've had, just not winning hands and showing off the Yaku. This is a very nice hand, though. How many shapes we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes, and how many are complete? Just 1. Got the triple here, and we do have at least 1 pair, so that means that we're 2 away at the start here. And this penchant or this kanchan here, the 1-3 is pretty bad. It'd be nice if we either draw the 2-mon or the 4-mon. I think that I'll just drop this 6. I've already got the 7, 8, 8, the 4, 5, 5. Okay. No, I don't want to pawn that. Okay, can't really use the 9. Let me hide this basic shapes. Okay. So yeah, I hope that this has been useful for some people. Oh no, I don't want to pawn. I don't want to cheat that. No. But yeah, I think that I will. I think that I'm going to after this game. I think that I'll end there, and at some point, me and Anui. What should I do here? I think I'll just drop the door. Hold on. I've only got 4 shapes now. I should not have done that. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I deserve to lose now for sure. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Why am I dropping one of my shapes? I thought I had too many shapes for some reason. Learning some expert play here. But yeah, as I was saying, me and Anui will do this again. Maybe I can get Anui to play. If I can get Anui to be the one who's playing, and I can be the one who's talking, I think that will make it a lot easier. Boy, I kind of thought I was going to win this hand. I kind of screwed up when I when I did this. That would have been Tenpai there. That 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll still get into Tenpai. I don't really have a safe path though. But maybe I'll take a risky path. We're getting near the end though. It's not looking too likely. Okay. Okay, is this going to be the end? It may not be. That's not enough, is it? Oh, it is. It is. It is. Because of the Ricci stick. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Needed to be over 30,000 to end the game. Okay. Well, that's that. I somehow didn't get 4th. Just the right person was hit there. Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna stop there. Maybe I don't know when we'll do it. Maybe next week. Me and Anui can go over this basic stuff again. Maybe expand on the list of things to go over a bit. And Anui can be the one playing to make it easier. And maybe we can set up friendly games from the start instead of doing casual to make it go faster. Make all these changes, and after that we can start covering Ricci Book 1. Start with Chapter 3. And we want to go over that over the summer, so we have videos available for all of that. Okay. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining me. Definitely let me know if you have any questions or anything. Oh, what is this? Oh my god, about? But yeah. I hope this was helpful, and I think it'll be a lot better if I can get Anui in with me. This is more of a practice stream to see how it goes. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I have my scheduled streams on Friday and Saturday at this time, and on Tuesday I think also at the same time. If you look at my schedule, it'll be there. We'll probably do it at one of those times whenever I can wrangle Anui in here. Yes, that can happen if you reach especially if you reach a bad weight, then it may not work out too well. But it also that's confirmation bias. When you remember the times when you lost, and not the times when you won, because it hurts so much to lose. That's a big part of Mahjong, is just having having optimism and confidence, and believing that everything that you do is right, and also making sure that it is right, of course. There's a bit of a balance there. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure when the next time will be, but there will be another stream tomorrow. There's just like a ranked stream, unless I can drag Anui in tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a solid date. But if nothing else, you can watch the VOD, and I mean, you can come into my ranked stream anytime and just ask questions if you want to have a specific question about something. But yeah, thanks for joining me. That's all for me.